Hello and welcome to the Huddle on KGUN9's streaming platforms. It's our weekly sports talk show. I'm KGUN9's Jason Barr, joined by Pat Paris. As always, Pat, good afternoon. How are you today?
Doing pretty well, Jason. Excited about a couple of things, including the Suns, which I know we're going to talk about in a minute. So, let's get going.
Yeah, we'll talk Suns, Cardinals. Have a special guest coming up in a little bit. I figure we'll start with DeAndre Hopkins. Let's start there, Pat. We're watching last week and we watched the NFL draft, and here the Cardinals trade away their first-round draft pick for Marquise Brown. And we're thinking, boy, if you're going to really trade your first-round draft pick, it's going to be maybe for a position of need. And you think, well, the Cardinals don't need a wide receiver. And then sure enough, it comes out a couple days later that DeAndre Hopkins is suspended 6 games for performance-enhancing drugs. You definitely have an inkling that the Cardinals knew about that. And that's why they made that move. And sure, it makes a lot more sense now to pick up this receiver who had 1,000 yards receiving last year, has an instant chemistry with quarterback Kyler Murray after they played together in college.
Yeah, I think that was a tremendous pickup, and I think that was obviously they knew at the time. The Cardinals had to have known at the time because this banned substance was found months ago. So they had an inkling that this was going to happen, and they were kind of hedging their bets to make sure that they weren't left without. They probably didn't know how long he was going to be out, but they knew that DeAndre Hopkins was going to be out, and they find out that it was going to be 6 games, and now you've got an opportunity to kind of weather the storm without DeAndre. They played a lot of the end of last season without him too, Jason, and he's irreplaceable.
3 and 4 down the stretch without DeAndre Hopkins.
He is, one of the premier, top 2 or 3 wide receivers in the league. He's shown it. They're not as good without him. So they're just going to, maybe it'll be the reverse of last year. Remember how great a start they had, and then they kind of fizzled out towards the end of the season. Maybe the Cardinals will kind of, plod along, maybe go 3-3 without him, and then get him back, and they'll take off again. But it's disappointing because, Jason, they all know the rules. They all know the substances, and he admits, he's really careful, but somehow it got past him, and he's not even going to appeal it. So he knows that he did wrong. I just, maybe he's surprised that something was in a substance, but you got to know. You've got to know.
Yeah, shocked but as you said, not appealing. They're going to take a beating without him. I'm not so sure. They have wide receivers. They're now actually very strong at the tight end position. Not only did they re-sign Zach Ertz for 3 years, a Pro Bowl caliber tight end, but they've got Trey McBride, who they took in the 2nd round. He is the tight end from Colorado State, I believe, won the Mackey Award as the nation's best tight end. So he's a very good receiver. They can go with a 2 tight end formation. To think that they're going to get killed without DeAndre Hopkins, I don't think so. And they know this going in. This is not going to be a surprise mid-season. But yeah, that's been the knock of a Cliff Kingsbury team, is that they faltered down the stretch. So maybe they won't do that. And bad job, obviously. Doesn't need us. You don't need us to tell you that Hopkins can't get suspended for something like that. So, all right. So that's the Cardinals and their draft, and also we've got the Phoenix Suns here, and terrific performance by Chris Paul in the playoffs. I mean, what can you say? This guy's 37 years old. He's playing the position at the absolute highest level that you could play it at. 14 for 14 the other night in the decisive game against the Pelicans. He has a good game again last night. Booker, you worry about his hamstring. But I think he's going to be back to where he was pretty soon. And former Wildcat DeAndre Ayton there in the Suns, off to a 1-0 lead against the Mavericks in their best-of-7 series.
And I think, what, I obviously they struggled in the opening round series because they missed Devin Booker, and they were able to manage to win that series. They got booked back at the last game. We saw what Chris Paul did in that final game of that first round series. But what I think that really, to me, what made me a believer that this team could actually win the championship this year, Jason, versus last year, where it was in their grasp, it was right there within their reach, and they weren't able to get it. It was when Chris Paul was out with the hand injury, remember? And you saw what Devin Booker did to step up and at least play like an MVP. I don't know that he'd win the MVP, but he played like an MVP in Chris Paul's absence. And we saw DeAndre Ayton go from, each year we've seen DeAndre, the former Wildcat, get a little bit better. I think we saw him get even better during that stretch when they didn't have Chris Paul. But guys like Cam Johnson suddenly elevated the game. We've seen Mikal Bridges elevate his game. all those guys had the opportunity and felt the pressure to step up when Chris Paul was out. They also felt the pressure to step up when Devin Booker was out. And I think that makes them a team that was a favorite, but had gone through adversity now. A lot of times you don't see that, Jason. A favorite doesn't usually go through adversity and then be battle tested when they get into the postseason, and the deeper they go in the postseason. I think they've got a great combination of experience now. They've got great talent, obviously, and now they're battle tested with adversity. And I think those are great combinations to finally get a championship for the Phoenix Suns, I hope.
Well, the fact that they're a more rounded team also differentiates them from the Mavericks with Luka Doncic.
Yeah,
Certainly, he dropped, 45, 12, and 8 last night, but didn't have the supporting players. Jalen Brunson and Spencer Dinwiddie, certainly, who we saw a lot against Arizona playing for Colorado. I think he played for them for 4 years. It certainly felt like that. But Luka Doncic has got to get a better supporting cast. He was terrific last night. But you saw where they played him one-on-one because they knew the other players weren't doing as well and weren't as much of a threat. So he's got to have a more supporting cast. And Jason Kidd, the Mavericks head coach, said that last night. His comment was somebody else has to join the party. So that's really actually something that differentiates the Suns and the Mavericks right now.
Yeah, and I think you're exactly right. And I think what you're doing is you're saying, look, we don't think you can beat us. You only have one player. And right now that's proving to not just one game. They've proven that. I will say that the Mavericks, and it's lip service, but they didn't give up last night. They did fight back. You have to give them credit for that. And they're not going to just roll over in this series. The Suns are going to have to continue to play like they did for 3 quarters last night. That fourth quarter kind of got a little lethargic. Let's put it that way. But when you've got when you get the Mavericks in foul trouble, like they got a couple of their guys in foul trouble, the supporting cast members, then you got them right where you want them. And I think that's kind of the game plan for the next, hopefully a sweep, the next 3 games. We'll see.
Yeah, series could go longer than that.
It could.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying, well, the Suns just held serve, last night at home. I'm not so sure they did just that. I think they looked a little bit more in control of the game than just a team holding serve at home. So I'm not so sure. I don't think this series is going 7. I'm still at 5 or 6, and wouldn't be even surprised if it went shorter than that. So, and that would be nice for them after a 6-game and relatively tough first-round series to have something not quite as long. And then probably going up against the Warriors in the finals, who are the Warriors who are starting to look like the Warriors with Clay and Steph, and getting tremendous play from Jordan Poole. I think is also taking the pressure off of them as well.
That's a small lineup, though, and that can create problems, but it also can be a problem if you're Golden State. We'll have to see. Hopefully we get to that point. We get to see them match up against each other. We'll see in the future. I'm looking forward to it, though, Jason.
All right, Pat, thank you so much. You're going to duck out, I know, because you're going to prepare to field anchor the K-Gun 9 News, of course, coming up at 5 o'clock. So we're going to say goodbye to you.
All right, Jason.
Thanks for the first half
See
of
you
the
next
Huddle
week.
here. And
right.
we're going to say hello to FC Tucson coach Jon Pearlman, who's nice enough to join us here on the Huddle on K-Gun 9 streaming platforms. Coach Pearlman, Jason Barr here in the K-Gun 9 studios. Thanks for joining us. How are you today?
It's great to be here. Thanks so much for having me, Jason.
Okay. All right. So for the fan in Tucson who doesn't follow FC Tucson that close, we remember FC Tucson as a premier development league team. Then we remember them becoming a professional team, then being affiliated with Phoenix Rising FC. Not all the fans like that. They wanted Tucson to be independent. Now you guys are as a USL League One team. Update everybody on where FC Tucson is right now.
First of all, thank you so much for having me. Where we're at right now is we are a team that plays in the USL League One, which is the league that sits below the USL Championship, which is its highest level. And then obviously above that, the highest level Division I soccer is the MLS. And FC Tucson last year, I took over as the head coach as an interim. We made it all the way to the semifinals of USL League One play. And this year we're only 4 games into our 28-game season. And we're looking obviously to return to the playoffs and hopefully bringing a trophy to the old Pueblo here.
Yeah. All right. So you guys are off to a 1-2-1 start so far in USL League One. And I know goals have been hard to come by. What do you that's of course the just soccer in general. Goals are hard to come by. How do you coach and how do you get the team going and how do you create more goal scoring chances when goals are hard to come by early in the season?
Well, I think the conversation we had with our attacking players today and all of our players is, our goal is to get the players doing what they do well as much as possible in a game, just like any other sport, and getting to do the things they don't do as well, not as much. So it's getting in position to score goals. We've really struggled in the final third, getting our movements right and getting our dangerous players where they're in their best positions to score goals. In saying that, we have scored. The only game we've been shut out twice, but in the other games we've had two or one or three goals, even in an away performance a week ago. So some of it's not necessarily, I don't see it as a long-term problem. I see just ultimately for us, we're a new team. So while it's great, we had some key returners from last year, there's some turnover for players that were players that I wanted for myself, and then players that advanced up a league, like Charlie Dennis and Shaq Adams from last year. So again, we were only returning, 5 of our 24-man roster. And on top of that, we've had a little bit of an injury bug to start the season with some key attacking pieces. So players not playing in their favorite position or their 100% preferred position. And then again, just getting the chemistry in a new side that didn't have the preseason, go as well as we could have in terms of, having all the players available for selection. So as we muddled through that moment, but I think there's a lot of dangerous, exciting attacking players from last year. Gio Colextra, Derek Korf, players who scored multiple goals last year, and we just need to sharpen up our final third play.
You mentioned Derek Korf. What about a guy like Luis Perez? He was a USL League One Player of the Week a few weeks back. What does a player like that bring to your team?
Yeah, this isn't Luis comes from an incredible background at PSG, one of the greatest clubs in the world. He's a player from France who was an All-American at Central Florida, and a left-sided player with absolutely a wonderful left foot, very much, comfortable in the number 10 position, as an attacking midfielder. And you saw his quality, in the first, 2 league games. He had an assist and a goal and then another assist. He's racking up the points. Obviously, last week was a week to forget for him getting the red card. But again, Louis will be back and he'll be better than ever. This is a guy who's going to get you multiple goals and multiple assists. Any game, he gets the ball enough in good position. So for us, it's getting Louis the ball in those positions and allowing him to create both, with his passing and with his shooting.
So there's not just FC Tucson, but there's an FC Tucson women's team as well. They play an 8-game season with Kelly Pierce, former South Point, or I believe she might be even the current or the South Point.
Yes.
Yeah, she's the current South Point coach. She's the head coach. How involved are you with the women's team, and how about just FC Tucson as a whole? It's not just a women's team, but I believe there's maybe some youth teams and some other teams as well. Talk a little bit about FC Tucson as a whole.
Absolutely, Jason. So I'm the technical director as well as the head men's coach. So Kelly Pierce, who's obviously, I think now 2 or 3-time state champion at South Point as the head coach there. She's part of our overall technical staff. So right now in the prelude to the WPSL season, which is the highest level of amateur women's soccer in the country, lots of college All-Americans, we'll have Hope Heisey back from University of Arizona, their star goalkeeper. And Kelly works with us, 3 days a week with the men's team, talking about session planning, talking about how the style of play for the club and what our core values are. And we also have the USL Academy team, which is all of the best players from all different youth clubs in Arizona, including our own affiliate club, FC Tucson Youth, playing against, teams, Phoenix Rising's academy team for USL, San Diego Loyal, who's coached by Landon Donovan. They have an academy team. El Paso, Orange County, all of these teams that play a league above us. And we had our first game last week, which was an epic battle, which we lost 3-2 against New Mexico United. So again, I'm very involved in all of those facets because what we're trying to do, of course, is highlight local talent, develop local talent so that they can be part of our first team. So Louis Perez has guys from that team. And a lot of those players right now are participating in first team training and have been on the bench available for selection. So yeah, I'm involved in every facet of the development of the organization. It takes time to do that and get the youth component and the women's component, but the connectivity we have, Kelly's doing a great job, and we're really expanding, the organization in many ways. It's just going to be a great positive for opportunities for everybody in Tucson to, participate in what we think is an amazing organization with great values.
I know you're not thinking about this during game day, but I believe I read where I saw that the drink prices were lower at the FC Tucson games this year than they were in the past. I think maybe beer was $2 cheaper, and all the other concessions remain the same. How important are things like that, and the things that you're doing in the community to get people to go to Keno Stadium when there's so much competition for all different types of entertainment?
Well, Jason is a former, managing member and a VP of operations, of course. We want our fans to be there. We obviously, the most important thing is that I put a winning product on the field, an exciting product, a team that fights for the badge. But also, we listen to our fans. They give us great feedback, our core fans. And if we're going to get more fans, we have to do things like we do. Our new concessions are fantastic. We're about to announce another great local partnership with a brewery. We have a lot of different drinks. We have, different, food items that are, culturally related to the Southwest, things that are specific to Tucson that make FC Tucson game feel like Tucson, whether it's the food or the beers or the micheladas or any of the drinks that, you want to have the game, and you want it affordable at night with your family. So yeah, I'm not involved directly, but I definitely, my family comes back to me, whether I'm the head coach, they're fans of the game, they're season ticket holders, and they're really pleased with what's going on. And again, Amanda Powers and Justin Kirk, who used to be with the U of A, and Jason, who handles our marketing. They work tirelessly to try to improve that game day experience. So again, there's nothing like a winning team, and that's the most important thing. But again, we try to make sure that experience feels energetic. You get close. The players stay extra to sign all the autographs. We go out in the community. We'll be out for Cinco de Mayo. But yeah, the food offerings and the beers being cheaper is never going to hurt, and I'm never going to be anything before that.
Before we get to Saturday's game, tell me the dynamics now of how it works. If you don't have a direct affiliation with Phoenix Rising FC, let's say you've got a player who's good enough, who's just having a fantastic year, and as much as you want to keep him with FC Tucson, he's now ready to play at a higher level. How does it work now? He can sign with any USL team, or
Yeah.
what's now the connection? Tell me how the affiliations now work. Oh yeah.
I have great relationships with all the championship coaches. I was able to coach in the championship for a year, and then my networking through working for US Soccer. So I have relationships with all kinds of teams. So for example, we have players like, Burke Failing, who's on loan from Charleston because it's a good fit for his development and his career. And we have, players on loan from Argentinian clubs, but our players that are signed with us, the idea is with them, it's look, the most important thing is that you play for our badge and we win a championship here. When a player is ready, that we were very happy to market that player, and that player is available for what's called a transfer fee if we hold their contract, if it's in the middle of the year, if that player's on a 2-year deal, or we have the option for them. So we're looking to move players on when the timing's right for both the player and the franchise. We're not going to sacrifice the franchise success for the player or the player's success, because players moving on and up the league is going to only attract more players. So players from our team, and when any team likes them or we think they're a good fit for that particular team or that style of play, we will help the agent market that player in an appropriate way and an appropriate timing, making sure that, of course, we have cover to make sure that our team is not affected adversely during the season by losing that player. But then moving that player on, can be an influx of cash to increase our player budget or use those dollars in our youth development in other ways. So again, we're always trying to be a selling club, but at the same time being a club that wins championships. So you can do both. There's clubs in Europe that have been able to do both very successfully, especially in Germany. So it's very important that we look at both sides, that we're successful on the field, but we're also advancing our players' goals and advancing our, goals as a business. So, we're in the early stages of that. League One is in the early stages of that. I can tell you that there have been players sold in the championship this year. There's going to be one player probably sold for a 7-figure number. If we're getting, 5 figures for a player in our league, that's a great boost. That's big for us. So again, we try to sign players that we think have the skill sets to move on, but most importantly, that we can help us win a trophy and have them have an amazing experience, and obviously do it for Tucson.
Okay, and finally, let's talk about Saturday's game. It's Teacher Appreciation Night coming up on Saturday. I assume it's a reduced ticket for teachers. You tell me. You're playing North Carolina FC. Tell me about the game and what fans are going to see if they come out on Saturday night.
Yeah, we're definitely looking to take the game to North Carolina FC. This is a critical matchup. They're a good possession team. They're a strong team. They've got some young players on there as well. Obviously, for me as a former teacher, this is an important night. We want to honor the teachers, but most importantly, our performance against Tormenta was lackluster, to say the least, in my opinion. We've had some really hard conversations. We're going to shuffle things around a bit and give some players, a look that need to have an opportunity to show their colors. But the most important thing is that we're aggressive off the kickoff, that we're pressuring them a bit higher up the field, and that, like you said, we're creating the kind of goals that we were able to 2 weeks ago and avoid, what was a very lackluster attacking performance. The boys look great today. They're incredibly eager to get back on the field. We haven't had a situation this year where we lost 2 in a row. We expect to come out and get the full 3 points in front of our crowd and reignite, the passionate fan base that has been so loyal to us.
Are the Cactus Pricks still going strong?
They are. They were
Yeah, okay.
chanting and singing last game.
That's a great atmosphere that they help provide, it's with all the music and everything that they do in the fans.
Yeah,
in
and
the
I think
stands,
for us, it's important that we provide something to celebrate, right, Jason? So,
That's right.
Again,
That's right.
we have our
They'll
obligations.
do so. They're
They have
behind
obligations. We have
Yeah.
obligations, and we can't wait to get out there Saturday night.
Yeah, for those who don't know, the Cactus Pricks are the loyal, longtime diehard fan base of SC Tucson. They constantly chant and sing and cheer and heckle a little bit the other team during the game, so it makes for a good atmosphere. Coach Jon Pearlman, thank you so much for joining us here on the Huddle, and wish you good luck in the game Saturday and the rest of the season as well. And we'll see you next time.
Jason, great to talk to you. We'll
Okay.
speak soon.
You too. All right. Thanks, Coach. All right. That's Jon Pearlman at SC Tucson joining us here on the Huddle on our weekly sports talk show. I'll be back next week, certainly with Pat, as he had to leave a little early today to go field anchor for KGUN 9 News. So I'll be on that at 6 with a story on Arizona women's golf, and we'll see you at 5, 6, and 10 on KGUN 9 later today. As for now, this has been on the Huddle, our weekly sports streaming talk show on all the streaming devices that you know so well. All right, for Pat Paris, I'm Jason Barr. Thanks everybody, and we'll see you next week.